Next game, we got Sharkies Titans, Saturday, 5:30 at Ocean Protect Stadium. Where the heck is that? Is that Shark?
They got a sponsor.
Heck is that?
I got confused for a moment too.
That's crazy. Ocean Protect Stadium. So much shark. May as well call it SeaWorld Stadium. That's funny ass. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because my mighty Gold Coast Titans, they're making a comeback. They're coming on. Hats on. Titans are up, baby. Let's go. Gold Coast Titans. Keano Kini, definitely a must-have in my eyes. You got Faimani, another guy, probably must-have in my eyes. AJ Brimson, Smokey, he's been in and out of my team at 640k at a desolate 5'8 position. Huge news with Jaden Campbell with that minor hamstring strain. He's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. Tino got that dual position today, which was fantastic at 680k. He's going to be on for big minutes. Another guy out of nowhere, Arama Hau, beat Patson for that second row starting position. Cooper Byers been named on the bench. Luke Summerton, he's got that dual position as well. He's been named on the bench. Plenty of juicy Titans players. Thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, I agreed with a lot of your sentiments. Keano Kini, he's so undervalued. Should be averaging 70 this year. That's 300k worth of value. Buy him in your team. It's a bit disappointing, that Jaden Campbell's out for the next few weeks. They're going to lose a bit of go forward, really. But I expect them, I expect the backline to score a lot, and therefore as a result, Faimani, the 235k rookie, he scored 50 in the third trial game against the Storm. So, I'm playing him this week. I'll see what happens. Hopefully, like the other couple of cheapies that have been played this week, Tom Chester and Setu too, he jags a try or something like that, and he scores similarly. Tino. I think I was telling Adam that I think that Tino is probably correctly priced. He didn't seem to change much from the stat changes at all. He doesn't seem to have increased or decreased at all. I thought last year that he maxed out his minutes where possible. I only played about 50 to 60 minutes per game, but it was the way that he got played. For example, he'd go on for 15, 20 minutes, and then Desi Hazel would take him off for 5 minutes for a spell, and then he'd just go back on and just go balls to the walls, and then go for 5 again, and then go again, and then he jagged a whole bunch of random try assists and stuff like that, and that's why he scored so well. He'll get a bump from being second year back from his ACL injury. But I think if you're looking for somebody and you're going, I really want to have that, a dual player, and you think it's worth it for 681, go for it. There are similar players, as we talked about, Toby Couchman, Keon Kalamatangi, and also we talked earlier for a little bit price cheaper. You can even get Jermaine Hopgood. I think they're all going to score fairly similarly, really. Arama Hau, he's in my team too. I don't know if he's got job security, to be honest. I thought the position was supposed to be, Josh Patson's, but pretty much this. I at the moment in 2RF, I don't really mind if I jump on somebody random and then they end up being nuffed or they don't play, because I've got to buy Ryan Couchman in anyway. So whoever it is that doesn't work out, I'm just going to switch them to Ryan Couchman. So if you're thinking the same thing, you go, hey, should I get this guy in? And you're going, I haven't missed out on Ryan Couchman too. Yeah, jump on that person if you think so. Bo Fermor, he's only 2% owned, but I think he's a sneaky pod. I saw some stats somewhere. Sorry, I forgot where it was, but he averages like 84 when like Brimson's by his side. So he could go massive, and he like Sam Verrill suffers from just a Gold Coast, I guess, unfavoritism. Really, nobody wants him because he's on the Titans, and they think he's boring, and also because Tino's there, you can choose him. He's a lot more sexier. Yes. That's pretty much. Cooper Bye
and Brimo too, mate. What are your thoughts on Brimo? Now that JC's out, is he more enticing?
I don't spend much time thinking about Brimo. I'm going to be honest.
Check his last game of the year, bruh.
I still think he's a center. But I look at 600. I think he's slightly overpriced to start. But given that JC's out, he might. No, I just don't think he has great base, and I think JC is what makes Brimo dangerous. Without him, I don't know if he scores as well. That's my personal take. I could be completely wrong.
You will be, mate. all the mighty Titans, baby. Let's go. But yeah, Cooper Bye off the bench, 25 to 40 minutes.
Yep. Slow burn, I suspect.
Yeah. He's not a rush in. And again, his name is my name with buy me dinner first, pun intended. But yeah, I don't think he's a must-have at the start of the year with so many other guys. If we didn't get like Hau, for example, we didn't get Labum out of nowhere, and then obviously the battle between the Melbourne boys, a couple others I can probably rattle off the top of my head. Obviously the front rows as well with Paseka and Flegler. When we get to those guys, that's going to be interesting talk as well.
Yeah.
Sharkies, Kale Ero, premium center option at 7K. Gun, absolute gun. My nemesis from 2025, Nicho Hynes, and the actual MVP of this team, Hynes Trindall, going off the Indigenous All-Star game. Tell me I'm wrong. Eye test says otherwise. Big boy, big bop, AFB at the middle. Blake Brailey has been in and out of my team as well over Harry Grant. Still tossing up. Honestly, still tossing up. Jesse Colquhoun, probably not as sexy now because we've got so many other options with job security not looking fantastic. They're probably the main guys for the Sharkies. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Who should we start with? Kale Ero. Yeah. He's undervalued just based on the stats changes. If you want to start, if you have the money for him, get him. Really. They have, they're playing the Titans. I mean, they look kind of good in defense at the last two trial games, but I vividly remember Titans looking really, really good last year. They beat the Finns, and then they came out against the Bulldogs in round one last year and just got absolutely hammered, something like 40 to 12 or something like that. And it was just super disappointing if you're a Gold Coast fan, because they looked so good that trial game.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna jump on, Kale Ero, jump him from start away from game one. He also has great base, so he does have a slightly harder draw after the Titans, but it's still worth it. If you want someone cheaper, again, we talked earlier about, hey, jumping on somebody like an Isaac Tungo. Jesse Raymond's also exactly the same price, so 500K. He literally bases 50. So he's priced at just his base. He scored 3 tries last year. Surely can't happen again. If he jags more tries, he's going to go up to 650K. Brimson Ilias, is he in your team then if he's the MVP?
I'll wait for that one.
Yeah. I think Trindall is just too attack reliant. He just lacks that base, and he did awesome in game 3 against Canberra, and he scored something like 60 overall.
Yeah.
Nicho Hynes. Nicho's an interesting one, and I think, there's a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of critics like you, Ryan, they don't like how Trindall takes over. There's, all those comments from Craig Fitzgibbon where, sometimes Nicho will take the reins, sometimes it'll be Trindall. I think with Nicho, I think it's a case of you see what you want to see, really. Like, as somebody who's very biased towards Nicho, I must admit, I say he scored, 69 in the Indigenous All-Stars and 63 in the trial games. And he did absolutely, and we're complaining he did absolutely nothing in half a game of football. But I see him running a whole lot more. I really liked, for example, in that final game against the Raiders, where he, just before the half, he takes a run and then he just has a line break assist to Jesse Raymond. He wasn't doing that as much last year. And then obviously after he's on the 5th, he steps off his right and he just floats a face ball, to Piru, and he just scores on the sticks, and it's just easy 20 points, in terms of a try assist and line break. I think of him a little bit like, the reason why I'm not as concerned, Ryan, is because I think he reminds a little bit like Parramatta a few years ago when Mitchell Moses would do a lot of the organising, similar to the way that Trindall's taking over a lot of the tackling and things like that. But then Dylan Brown just gets to run and just do whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
In many ways, and sometimes it's better to be that second receiver or just that person who just wants to do spontaneous things randomly, and that's a bit more conducive to SuperCoach, and that's why I've got Nicho in my flex position. Yeah, I'm actually going to be captaining him. Yeah.
That is just.
Do you know what my scariest thing is actually? The only reason why I've thought about maybe not having him in my team is just if he just doesn't go big. Oh, I just don't know if I can go on the pod next week.
I will not let you live it down, bro. I will absolutely be hammering you. Did you watch the Indigenous game? Go watch the highlights, and I guarantee you're going to trade him out. So
It doesn't matter. He scored 69 doing nothing.
fucking crazy. Yeah, good base. He's good. But if you're not here next week, that little blank spot, Chris's head.
We'll know why.
Chris's head. AF.
Oh, yes. AFB. So AFB, his points last season were down purely for being less minutes on the park. So his PPM stayed the same, 1.2 from 2023 to 2025. But last year he played 54 minutes compared to 60 minutes the previous 2 years at New Zealand at the Warriors, and as such, that's why he averaged 65 last year compared to 72, pretty much. So it's a case of if you think he's going to go back to playing 60 minutes, then he's undervalued and you're worth a start. But I'm of the opinion, why risk it? You know, just pick up Paddy Carrigan again. Pick up Keano Kini or something like that instead.
Agreed. And sorry, did you mention Blake Brailey?
Yes, we should talk about Blake Brailey.
Yep.
He is 12% owned. I think a lot of people originally jumped on Harry Grant just because you could get a premium hooker for about 50k cheaper. He wasn't in my team at all because I thought to myself that, look, he was kind of like averaging about 50 to 60 in the first half of the season. It was only in the second half where actually it was kind of during that origin period where he kind of like started running, had a whole bunch of line breaks, had a bunch of try assists, and then he just averaged like 100. And then in the second half, he averaged like 90 or whatever it was. And, you know, I don't know if it's a case of when defenses are tight and everybody's switched on, you know, he doesn't get good stats. But, you know, in the second half when nobody cares anymore, then that's where he's getting his stats. I don't know. He's in my team in the end. In the end, he's coming to my team only because Brandon Smith I just got no word on Brandon Smith and I just don't want to put him out. I don't want to start him just in case he doesn't play for 4 or 5 weeks. So, yeah. I've got him in the end. I'm just going to pray.
Kind of regret now. I'm going looking at my team. I could have easily gone double gun hooker, and I kind of wish I did. Because, like, there's so many guys, like, I could easily drop 2K, and that's the difference in price. Like, could very easily do it.
Yep. I believe it or not, I like what you did. Like, I've been playing around with my team, Ryan, actually. Just, this is probably completely irrelevant to any of the listeners at the moment, but like I'm playing and I'm finding that I just cannot fit in an extra forward gun that I want to. It's because but you and Adam and Jake, you guys all can because you guys all jumped on Reed Marnie for 400 and you know I won't lie, I've got kind of got some doubts about Harry Grant a little bit. You know, his base has been down a little bit. Like in the final trial game, he only scored like 34, really. He only like made like 30 tackles or so, really. He didn't do that much. And, you know, I like how in the second, he's doing a lot of face balls, but, you know, how many of these will, become try assists and how not? He's going to have to rely on a lot of attack. And if he doesn't get it, do you know what? I think you're better off getting, again, a Paddy Carrigan, a Keon, a Hopgood who are just going to average you 60, 70, 75 every week just in base. And you don't even have to worry about it and think about it. Yeah.
That's totally fair, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting when we get to that team reveal because I might be getting talked out of it. And I think just Colquhoun as a whole, there's just too many other guys. I just would be avoiding. Definitely be avoiding for sure.
Yeah, I'd only get him if you're a Sharkies fan or if you just really want that dual status.
I'm surprised, like old Ryan, 2024 Ryan, even 2025 Ryan, max trading for the first 15 rounds. I've evolved. I'm hoping not to make a trade after round 1. So we will see. We will see. It could be a rage trade in.
If addictions were that easy to acquit, no smokers wouldn't exist.
Yes, true. Yeah, don't give me too much credit just yet.